So already we saw about the ecological pyramid. I told you. So how the sun's energy goes and all. So here little we need to see in detail. Okay, in the ecosystem functioning from the exam point of view, so there are only some 4 to 5 concepts. So we have to see in any forest or any ecosystem, whether it's a water body, whether it is a lake, whether it's a forest, everything is an ecosystem. So ecosystem, see some terms I want to, anyway, first let me define you certain terms and then let me get into it. We may use the word ecology, ecosystem, biodiversity, habitat, niche. See these terms, sometimes I may often use it interchangeably. So that time you should understand. So sometimes I may use habitat, I may use the word ecosystem, sometimes biodiversity. So you have to understand, first thing, let me take biodiversity. What is biodiversity? It's a different types of plants and animal. That's all. The different types of plants and animal. We have around 1 crore of plant and 1.5 crore of animal in this world, including all aquatic and terrestrial. So including microorganism. See, all the plant and animal, including microorganism, it is something called biodiversity. It's a biological diversity. Now, when the biodiversity start interacting with each other, okay, including microorganism, everyone start interacting with each other. When they start interacting with the abiotic, like temperature, air, water, soil, we call it as an ecosystem. Ecosystem is functional unit. So I told you yesterday, if you take a forest, you take a Western Ghats. So every day, Western Ghats will have a lot of biodiversity. Every day morning, sun's come, energy comes, primary producer, herbivore, carnivore, everyone develops. Okay, after some point of time, everyone die, decomposition will happen, nutrients are getting recycled. You can see this is something an ecosystem. They are all adapted to the temperature, air, water, soil. So this is something called ecosystem. Even you take a water body, every day morning sun comes, you will see phytoplankton, you will see some zooplankton, fishes, herbivore, carnivore, tough carnivore. After some point of time, they all die, come to the bottom. You know, the decomposition takes place, the nutrient comes out. So this is something, an ecosystem. So a lake, everything is an ecosystem. Right now we are on a Delhi ecosystem. It's an urban ecosystem, man-made ecosystems. So everyone is an ecosystem. So when the biodiversity start interacting with each other, when the biodiversity start interacting with the abiotic, we call it an ecosystem. That study is called ecology. Okay, what is habitat? Ecosystem. See, specifically where species survive is called habitat. Example is right now we are in the Indian ecosystem. Right now we are in a Delhi ecosystem. Okay, right now we are on the Pusa Road, of course, Karol Bagh habitat. Okay, for example, where do you stay? Lakshmi, your native is your okay. See, right now Lakshmi Nagar. So Lakshmi Nagar, this is Pusa Road or Karol Bagh. Am I right? So here his habitat is from Lakshmi Nagar to Karol Bagh. After this, do you go somewhere else? Some other place you go? No. So that is his habitat is Lakshmi Nagar to Pusa Road. That's all. That is the habitat. Exactly where a species survives is called habitat. Because some species may be in the Western Ghats forest. Probably if you ask me a specific habitat, they may be only in this range. So where exactly the species survive is called habitat. Because sometimes ecosystem habitat, we may use it interchangeably. So don't get confused. What is niche? What function you do? What function you do in that habitat, that is something called niche. Clear? Okay. So, okay. Now let's come to the ecosystem functioning. So in the ecosystem functioning, we have to see some few concepts. The first one is, let us take energy flow. Energy flow. See, already I told you how the sun's energy comes. I told you the 1% of the energy is trapped by the plant and 10% is converted into body, that keep on goes up. Am I right? Now here, this is a food chain. The energy flows in the food chain. This food chain, we call it as a grazing food chain. GFC. This we call it as a grazing food chain. Because from the energy comes to the primary producer, from the primary producer it comes to herbivore, carnivore, top carnivore, we call it a grazing food chain. Now, after some point of time, I told you all the plant and animal will die. The dead organism, all the dead matter, the dead organism will also contain energy. So here that energy is also consumed by set of organisms like detritivore, fungi, bacteria. So here also some energy is consumed, am I right? So this energy, of course, the dead organism is called detritus. Now in this also some energy transfer is happening because the bacteria consumes the dead organic matter, takes it as energy. So this food chain, we call it as a detritus food chain, DFC. Okay, it's a grazing food chain, detritus food chain. Two food chain we need to see. So let us see little detail about this two food chain. Let's start with the first food chain, grazing food chain. So for land, water, both are called grazing food chain. So phytoplankton consumed by zooplankton, zooplankton consumed by small fish, large fish, shark, whale, dolphin. That's a grazing food chain for the water, aquatic. So for the land, as I already told you, a grass is eaten by a grasshopper may be eaten by a frog may be eaten by a snake may be eaten by a eagle. This is a grazing food chain. Now, if you take a link, so can you tell me how many number of link will be there? Or let me say this side. Let me come to this. This is land. Let me come to aquatic. Here we may have a phytoplankton. Maybe the phytoplankton is eaten by a zooplankton. Maybe it may be eaten by a small fish. Maybe a large fish. Maybe a shark or whale or dolphin, whichever may be. This is the grazing food chain for the aquatic water body. Now, the first question what I want to put is, between the two food chain, in which food chain the more energy flow will happen, whether in the terrestrial food chain, terrestrial ecosystem, or in the aquatic ecosystem? Between the two food chain, where the more energy flow will happen, whether equal energy flows or whether any one ecosystem will have more energy flow? Terrestrial. Okay, now tell me how much percentage is land, how much percentage is water in this earth? 75% is water. Then who will capture more sun's energy? Then they will have more primary producer. So it is only the aquatic will have more energy flow. Okay, so just make note. First point. In grazing, first grazing food chain. In grazing food chain, more energy flow happens in the aquatic ecosystem than the terrestrial ecosystem. Aquatic. You see the link? So if you ask me how many number of link, maybe this is one link, maybe this is one link, this is one link. It can be 100 link, but does not matter. They say that some few links are called as key link. Key link or key link concept. So maybe this link may be a key link, or this link may be a key link. That link should never get disturbed. If I have 200 link, no necessary that all the 200 is important. Maybe in that few will be a key link. That key link should be conserved. Why? That key link is disturbed, the entire food chain will get disturbed. The entire food web will collapse. What is the reason for it? Why the key link should be conserved? Simple. Keystone species may be there. Some important indicator species may be there. If that link is disturbed, your job is to identify which is the key link, which is a keystone, which is a key link. Ensure that the key link is not disturbed. Okay. For example, if I want to maintain the forest, I have to conserve the lion. Let me say Gir Forest. Gir Forest, Gujarat, lion is very famous. It's a top carnivore. I have to conserve lion. If I want to conserve lion, I have to conserve primary producer. Because when there is a primary producer, only deer will be there. When the deer is there, only lion will survive. So this is a key link. That key link should never get disturbed. Okay, this is number one. Number two is, you see this chain. Suppose by chance, if a toxin enters the food chain, now tell me whether the toxin will move through the food chain or not. Yes, the toxin, more chances that it will move through the food chain. If it moves through the food chain, who is going to get impacted more? Whether the first one, the receiver, is going to get impact, or the middle one is going to impact, the large size is going to get impact, who is going to get impact more, or everyone is going to get the equal impact of the toxin? So can you understand my question? If a toxin enters, whether everyone is going to get equally impacted or any one will get more impact? All. But actually it is the apex predator is going to get the maximum impact. So for this, you have to understand bioaccumulation and biomagnification. Bioaccumulation and biomagnification. Bioaccumulation, I will explain you. So first, I told you toxin. So if you take a toxin, there are some toxin when it enters into our body, immediately we will get impacted. Immediately we die or we may get hospitalized. But there are some toxin which goes inside our body, stays inside the body for a long period of time, and then it may react in the cell and it can create a cancer or organ failure. Those toxin comes under 3 classes. Number 1, carcinogen. Number 2, mutagen. Number 3, teratogen. Carcinogen, mutagen, teratogen. I hope carcinogen you would have heard about, cancer causing substance. So for example, some arsenic, cadmium, heavy metals whose atomic number is more than 20, they are all, which is a carcinogen. If you take cadmium, nickel, arsenic, normally when a carcinogen goes inside the body, it will enter into our body, it will enter into the cell, probably it will also enter into the nucleus, it will mutate the DNA. Okay, that is how the carcinogen will do. So they may enter into the cell, they may enter into the DNA nucleus, they may mutate the DNA. By that way, it will transform that cell into a cancerous cell, and that cell will spread, and obviously it will result in a tumor or cancer. This is something a carcinogen will do. Mutagen, most of the time the same thing only it will do. The same thing it will do it like carcinogen, but it targets the reproductive cell. So when it affects the reproductive cell, more chances that it will pass on to the next generation. If a person is getting a cancer through a carcinogen, whether the son or daughter will get it, chances is less. But if a person is affected by the mutagen, obviously it will transfer to the next and next generation. So carcinogen, it's a mutagen. If you ask me which is carcinogen, mutagen, it's very difficult to tell. After it reacts only, you will come to know whether it's a carcinogen or mutagen. Teratogen, it's a women specific. It's more women specific. You know that the fetus will be the pregnant mother. If you take this is a uterus, you will find a fetus, baby, inside the uterus. The mother and the uterus, the mother and the baby is connected by one organ called placenta. A placenta is an organ made of blood. That is what connects your mother and the baby. Most of the time, the food, everything, food, oxygen is supplied only through the placenta to the baby, and all the excretion and carbon dioxide is taken from the baby through the placenta. So placenta is like a barrier. If any infection comes, virus comes or disease comes, or any chemical comes, the placenta is like a barrier, it will prevent. But if the teratogen enters, the teratogen can easily cross the placenta barrier, it will deform the fetus. It will deform the fetus. Okay. So that way, the fetus can get impacted, or uterus can also get impacted. This is something called teratogen. Now, some chemicals are carcinogen, mutagen, some chemicals are carcinogen, mutagen, teratogen. Okay, here in this classroom, how many of you like petrol smell? It is a carcinogen, mutagen, teratogen, because it's a polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon. That smell aroma, what you get is called polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon. It's a carcinogen, mutagen, and teratogen. So it's a little dangerous. Okay, so like this, suppose if this chemical goes inside our body, if this carcinogen or mutagen, there are more chances that it will bioaccumulate in our body, which we call it as a bioaccumulation. Anyway, I will give a formal definition for it. First, you can listen to me. See here, how this chemical, see, I cannot say that the chemical goes inside, immediately it accumulates. No. First thing, you need to see how much quantity it enters. If it's a minute quantity, does not matter. But let me say that it is in the drinking water. cadmium is in the drinking water. Every day I consume 2 liters to 3 liters of water. Obviously, more concentration will enter into my body. Second is whether the chemical will react inside our body or not. See, some chemical will react, most of the chemical will react, but some chemical will not react. Have you heard about this microplastics? Microplastic, they say it is a bio-inert. That is, when it goes inside the body, it will not react inside the body. See, for that reason, we cannot say it is safe. When they go inside the body, there are chances that it can join. Suppose before they enter the body, the microplastic will join with some bacteria or virus, or it may join with heavy metal. It will take it like a vector. It will act like a vector. So in that way, it is dangerous. So second thing, you need to see whether it will react inside the body or not. The third is you should also see its lifetime. That is something called biological off-life. If the off-life is like 5 years, 6 years, you don't want to bother. If the off-life is 100 years, even a small chemical enters into your body, it stays inside the body for more than 80 to 100 years, then definitely more chances it will react. And very important, solubility. See, whether it is soluble in your body. When you take solubility, we have two types of solubility, water soluble, fat soluble. Both are dangerous only. But in water soluble, there are chances that inside the body, in the water, it will dissolve. Through the kidney urination, it can come out. But if it is a fat soluble, in the body fat, it will dissolve and it will stay inside the body itself. It will not come out of the body. Okay, fat solubility is very dangerous. Apart from that, you should also see the age factor and all. In 20, 25 years and all, no impact. But 45, 50, you can see the body regeneration happens and the immunity reduces. Then that time only they come out and react very faster. So all this, and it's not going to impact same way for everyone. See, if the chemical goes inside me, it may work different way. If it goes inside you, it may work in a different way. So it's not going to get impacted in the same manner. So these many factors you have to consider for the bioaccumulation. Okay, now just make note. Heading is bioaccumulation. So just make note, 3 classes of toxins: carcinogen, mutagen, teratogen. No, see, it's most of the time in the pregnancy stage. Even alcohol is a teratogen. See, that's what pregnant mothers, they should not consume alcohol. Even now, see, now the WHO has told that there is no benefit of any alcohol. Am I right? Earlier, it was no, nothing. Everything is alcohol. Wine, anything is alcohol. Okay, no benefit of anything. See, once upon a time, they told that, okay, you can consume wine. It is good for your skin. It's good for your heart. And they told that men's standard drink is 60 ml, women's standard drink is 30 ml. But now that entire thing is removed by the WHO. WHO now they say that even a small drop of alcohol, it is a carcinogen and mutagen. Okay, and also it is alcohol is a teratogen for women. Even pregnant mothers, even a 1 drop they take it also not good. So now the theory of for your skin health, wine is good for your skin, that and all is not there. Nothing. Because the negative impact what they're going to create is much more than the benefit. So now it's not there. Okay. Okay. See, that is for different reason. That is something climatic conditions and because they are in a very stressful condition. The military job is a very stressful job. Considering all this thing, they give it as a standard, but that's completely a different one. Okay, that is not applicable to the common man because they are working in a very extreme stressful environment. That is different. This is different. Okay.